Have you ever wondered why the British sent their people to Australia? Because normally when people talk about it, they say that, the British dumped their convicts here. And there were convicts on those first ships, but that's really far from the whole story. In 1787, the British prisons were bursting at the seams. And because of the American Revolution, the Brits could no longer do what they'd previously been doing, which was to dump their convicts in America. So they moved to Plan B, which was to load up a heap of ships, now known as the First Fleet, and to send them off to Botany Bay in Australia. But this is the part that often gets missed out of the narrative. Not everyone on those ships was a convict. To start with, you had the Marines, who came to guard the convicts and to maintain order. Then you have the officers to oversee everything. And then you even have a small amount of independent people who just came looking for a new opportunity at life. And a lot of the officers and Marines brought their families with them because they knew that they would be gone for several years. And when you look at the convicts themselves, these weren't some violent, hardened criminals. A lot of them were guilty of fairly small crimes like petty theft. So why ship them to the other side of the world? It's not efficient, it's not cost effective. But Britain had an ulterior motive. Britain, in order to maintain their empire and to maintain their power, wanted a foothold in the Pacific. So the Brits saw Australia as a potential base and a stepping stone for a bigger and better empire. They could use convicts as the workforce, Marines to provide the security, officials to keep everything ticking over, and then the free families would provide an anchor to turn this into a proper settlement. So while the convict story isn't technically wrong, it does leave out so much of that bigger picture. Australia wasn't chosen as a prison or a dumping ground. Australia itself was the prize that Britain was trying to get. If Britain could secure Australia and claim it before anyone else could, it would give them a really strong foothold in this part of the world.